Bobsleigh and Skeleton BMW IBSF World Championships Altenberg 2020, day 2 of the first weekend's action, and we head into the deciding heats for the Women's Bobsleigh World Championships in front of a big crowd here at Altenberg in Saxony. Hello everybody, welcome back to our coverage. Martin Haven and John Morgan for the IBSF TV crew here trackside, and John, got a great looking race shaping up in the top order.
Yeah, the local favorite Stephanie Schneider, who won the World Cup title the weekend before, season title. She came out with the best starts in the competition. Didn't have a very good drive down in the second heat. She fell from second to third with the fourth best timer that heat. But here's the star, Kalicki. She competed in the first 2 World Cups of the season, Lake Placid, medaled in both, lost out on the German Championships between Christmas. She was off the World Cup calendar, but she won the Junior World Championship. She got in the event. She's in second place. What a story. Well, Kaillie, Humphries, and Lauren Gibbs. Well, Humphries, the last 3 World Cup races on this track, she's won. But then she was sliding for Canada. Now she's with the United States. Lauren Gibbs, the experience in back of Alana Myers' sled. These 2 Americans look like they're poised to have a chance to have her win another World Championships, and boy, she's won a lot of medals.
Well, between 2010 and 2014, she won 2 World Championship golds, 2 Olympic golds in a 5-year stretch, and this season has seen Kaillie come right back to her very best. She didn't race at all last year. Doesn't look like she's been away for a minute. She leads by 21 hundredths over the local heroine Kalicki and Stephanie Schneider in third, Mariama Jamanka fourth, and 17 sleds made it through yesterday. But Lara Nolte, the junior world champion, the Youth Olympic champion, beg your pardon, in 2016, she will not start after crashing in the second heat yesterday. And she was the one that took the spot away from Kalicki. She had a stellar season as well. 4 World Cup races, 1 gold, 2 silvers and a bronze. So Kaillie Humphries there in the Native American mittens, limbering up in the car park like everybody else, getting ready to go. We'll have 16 sleds in our field then.
Jamanka?
Yeah, Mariama Jamanka, she's the world champion, she's the Olympic champion, she's had a very downbeat season. There, Nadezhda Sergeeva going by us. She's the European champion, won that title last year with her first ever senior race win. That's a big deal for the Russians as well. Well, Sergeeva just a little off the boil on the first day of action. She's in 7th place, and the medals are getting on for half a second away. Lauren Gibbs, the powerhouse in the back of the sled. And you've got to be a big brake woman to match the pace of somebody like Kaillie Humphries or Stephanie Schneider, ex-brake women who are now driving their sleds. Well, here is our starting order. We go from fast to last. So Humphries gets the best ice of the afternoon, ahead of Kalicki, Schneider, Jamanka, all the hometown heroes. Then Christina de Bruin of Canada. She's had a really big season. Mica McNeill looking strong as well. And Lara Nolte and Ann-Kristen Strack, we're hearing now, will not start the 3rd and penultimate heat. So heats 3 and 4 getting underway.
Well, like at a golf tournament, the 3rd heat they call moving day, or the 3rd day of the 4 days of golf. Here in bobsledding, we have 4 heats. This is like the moving heat. This is where you really want to establish yourself for that 4th and final heat. And on this track, as we know from the men's and women's competition to date, anything can happen.
Overnight leader Kaillie Humphries with Lauren Gibbs behind her. They were the fastest starters in both heats. They will likely be right up there again. 5:62, that's as quick as anything they did yesterday, John Morgan.
And they were tied by Schneider in both runs at the start. But Schneider didn't drive the lines that this Kaillie Humphries has.
Kaillie told me yesterday after the first day's action the track was harder and faster than they'd seen in training. She said took a little while to acclimatize yourself, but it's going to be different again today.
She posts a good time here. It's going to be hard for the rest of the field to catch her because she's got all the experience.
This is the run that gives the leader the real advantage. They have the best ice and everybody else will have slightly more tired ice after them.
She's doing what Kaillie Humphries does. Perfect there.
Are we sure she's not from Altenberg? I mean, I know she drives this track well.
She's won the last 3 World Cup races, 56-27. That's 20 hundredths faster than her first heat yesterday.
That's 500ths off her own all-time track record set on her last victory in January 2018 when she had Felicia George behind her, leading into the Pyeongchang Games. Well, and again,
look at her.
Looking bemused. What happened there?
Kaillie, well, Kaillie, is you okay? Or
yeah.
Where did she make any mistakes? Here was the only mistake I saw. Crossover 3 to 4. Look at the sled going up. A lot of pressure goes down. She didn't do that. She would have broke the track record for sure.
Yep.
We saw the track record this morning in the men's event.
Oh, just decimated like it was 20 years old.
Yeah. Come on.
But look at the ice here. The ice condition is stunning. It is so glossy. It's like glass again.
Well, since this East German training facility opened up in the mid-'80s, they've always had fast ice on this track. Here's the story of the day, as far as I'm concerned.
Junior world champion Kim Kalicki with Kira Lipperheider behind her, 21 hundredths out of the lead. She needs a superhuman run here to rein in Kaillie Humphries.
67, 68, 70, a little slower.
So it gives away another 800, sits down 29 hundredths behind.
But she started 18th in the field yesterday. Humphrey started 5.
Yep.
So she made a comeback. She beat the other German sleds, starting the last of the 4 German sleds. That's a mistake there, though.
Exit of 3 into 4. It always is tough. We're seeing almost everybody hit there.
She's 33 hundredths back. What we saw yesterday, this is where she becomes fast. 30. She's bringing it back.
Top speed.
This is what she did yesterday.
Wow.
She came out of nowhere to win 2 World Cups and Lake Placid medals, and then she got beat off the German team. And look at her, she's besting the other 3 Germans till that.
Oh, big skids.
She got it down to 22 also.
It's going to be about a quarter second at the line. She's going to lose a little time back to Kaillie Humphries.
She had
19 hundredths back.
Best time of the heat.
Yeah.
With that skid, she still was the fastest time of the heat. She beat Humphries on that heat.
All right, it's a 1 heat race, 19 hundredths of a second for gold at the moment.
On this track, Martin, there's no gimmies.
Nope.
There's no victory laps.
Well, Kim Kalicki, what a great addition to Germany's World Cup program, as was Lara Nolte this year.
Here's the first mistake. There's not many. Little tap in the take-on. This is Omega, 3 to 4. Watch her hit the right-hand wall. She's got to let it come a little bit farther. Watch the back end of the sled. Same thing Kaillie Humphries did, but her big mistake was down to 14 right here. If she had the same line as Humphries there, she would have been single digits from Humphries.
Yeah.
She didn't lose any time. She came back a couple hundredths.
Kim Kalicki on the right, and Kristen Strack, Kira Lipperheider rather, on the left. So our third sled, also from the Oberbarenberg Bob Club here in Altenberg, Stephanie Schneider with Cologne's Leonie Fiebig behind her.
Is she just going to let it go? She has no choice. She's 50 hundredths off the pace, but they're right behind is Mariama Jamanka. 63 and a 62 yesterday to start. We should see her match that. 63.
It's a home track. She was in the silver medal position in Whistler last year in the World Championships, but she hasn't got a great history with this track. Crashed here 3 years ago, broke her collarbone, which kind of put a kink in her season.
Nice. One of the best, so far the cleanest of the 3 sleds coming through that Albatross at 3-4.
But she started second quickest. The gap to Humphries is growing. It's out to over 0.6 of a second.
Losing time, but this is where Kalicki put on the afterburners.
Well, that's a good line.
Ooh, that's high.
Ooh, that's rocky though.
Watch the
Speed
wrong
is
side
not
of the
as
curve.
good.
Straight here, the only chance she's got. 91, she's buried. She could fall back a couple places.
This opens up a spot for Jamanka.
Sure does.
Mariama Jamanka could well take over here.
Look at that, look at. Oh, that was not a good run. 56.84, the same exact time she had in her second run yesterday.
Yeah.
And that is.
And her first one was a 56.50, only 300 slower than Kaillie, and she can't match that in Heat 2 or Heat 3.
She knows it. Look at the body language.
Yeah.
She's not very happy. She knows she's lost a lot.
She may struggle to make the medals.
real high in 11, the snake curve, two-corner combination. Look at that, a lot of ice. Now she's on the wrong side of this curve. She's got to steer really hard, 13. This is the exit of the next curve, 14, on the wrong side. You can't do that at that speed part of the track, but Martin, she was already lost a lot of time before she even got in that Kreisel.
Well, she was a 10th ahead of the reigning world champion, Mariama Jamanka, after 2 heats. Jamanka up next with Annie Dracek behind her.
This is all or nothing right here.
Well, this is the story of Jamanka's season. She's been just not quite on the money all year long.
The Olympic champion. She had never won an event or medal until the Olympics. Then last year she backed it up. Told everybody, I belong here. She won the World Championships in Whistler.
And the World Cup crown. This year the World Cup queen is Schneider. Jamanka needs a medal here.
5, that's pretty much what they did yesterday. 66 and a 64. She can have no mistakes.
Yeah.
Coming up the first challenge, the first albatross, 3 to 4. Watch the right side. She hits.
This is make or break for Jamanka. If she doesn't get into the top 3 now, then it's not going to be a great Worlds for her. She's from Berlin.
Not bad. 72 back, second best speed.
Here we go.
Good exit here. She can move up a little bit.
She is closing on Stephanie Schneider. She's up to 3rd on the splits.
Oh, big skid here. Watch out. Oh, she almost had the airborne runner. That's not perfect, but was better than Schneider.
This might be opening up the margins for Christina de Bruin of Canada, who comes next.
Yes.
3rd at the line, 3rd best run. Oh, Elena Nolta there.
Still her best run of the 3, 56.48, better than her 56.58 yesterday.
Yeah.
A better run for Jamanka. Jamanka puts a run in like that again in the 14th. She'll medal.
That's 3/10 better than her first heat, which was an 86.
Terrible first run. Almost, you can't win.
Almost 4/10 quicker than her first run.
You can't win the race in the first couple of heats, but you can certainly lose it.
Yeah. That was close as well. That was rocking and rolling.
And this trouble down here. I mean, there's
it in.
gremlins, boogeymans all over this track. Look at the, almost got into the airborne runner there. Then she was late here at 14. Look at her try to, she didn't steer there. She didn't steer away from that trouble, but that was a skid.
Okay, Jamanka, yeah, not the greatest run. Better than her other 2, but that opens the door for Christine de Bruin, who was just 0.03 of a second behind Mariama after 2 runs. That's 1/100th and a half per 1.4 kilometers of this track. De Bruin could end up in the medals like she did last year in Whistler.
These two had some unbelievable speed in the first run, but only had the 4th best time. The 72 and a 73 start. They should, if they get to a 70, it'll really help their effort. 74, slower. And a skid out of 1. Really took too much ice there.
And again, it's into corner 1 where you find out what the ice is doing, what feel you've got in the runners.
Right hand.
Not bad,
but not perfect.
Second least worst we've seen, 92/100ths back on Kaillie Humphries, but this is about trying to move up into the medals ahead of Schneider and Jamanka. A little late flop off 9.
Lost more time. Second best speed though, so she can come back here.
Here we go.
Move up a spot. She just wants to position herself going into the last heat and only be 5/800ths down to that bronze medal.
Oh, it's gonna take some big speed down at the bottom. She's still only in 5th place on the
Coming back to 4th.
split.
She's gone ahead of.
Didn't skid there either. Here we go. Is she going to be in 3rd place at the line? Is she in with a shot at the medals?
3rd best time of the run.
200ths off bronze.
Yeah, so now she accomplished, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
She's 200ths away from that bronze medal. 56.47. She's 4/10 better than her second run yesterday. And 1,300's better than her first try. The fastest time she's been down the track, probably a personal best. Probably the fastest she's ever been
Very
down the
likely.
track. Uh-oh. I don't know what they were yelling there, but a little late here. You know, she corrected only 1 hit there. Wasn't a double tap.
Yep.
Pretty straight.
Nice
Second
parallel.
best speed. Let's watch her chasing down Kaillie Humphries here. Little different line. Humphries.
Look how she's closing on Humphries there. She's already got more speed into the Kreisel.
Yeah, Humphries did have the best speed into the Kreisel.
Yeah, but she's closing
that
on
didn't
her
help
there.
out of 14.
Wasn't as
bad. No, wasn't as bad for that
got
late
away
exit.
without that. Christine de Bruin, 200ths out of the medals. Wow, that's a big move for Christine de Bruin. And Stephanie Schneider sags further out of contention. Heat 3 of the Women's Bobsleigh World Championships in Altenberg, Germany. Mica McNeill and Montel Douglas, 6th place overnight, fighting off the chasing pack behind them. Can they have a chance to move up here?
Got the same sponsor as the German sled. You take a look at this, you think it's a German sled.
Yeah, the yellow colour is very distinctive with the DHL livery. McNeill is only 700ths ahead of Nadezhda Sergeeva, the newly crowned European champion. So she wants to have a good third heat here to stay away from the Russian.
Gives up so much time at the start, but she was flying on the bottom part of the track in both runs yesterday, which is the reason she's in this position.
This is a good-looking drive from Mica McNeill, but only the 6th highest speed. That's not great. She's only the 6th sled on the track.
That was a smooth, clean, quiet exit out of the Kreisel.
And she's carrying the speed now. Here we go.
Wow.
Same as Christina de Bruin. Look, that's a great line.
This is what she did yesterday. Bottom part of the track, she gained all her time.
She's not going to catch Stephanie Schneider now. She's 20 hundredths behind her, 56.56. So is that enough to seal a top 6 finish?
Martin, she was 48 hundredths behind Stephanie Schneider. Now she's only 20 hundredths behind.
Wow. Schneider is throwing hundreds away, left, right, and center.
45 hundredths out of the medal. But Martin, this is Altenberg. This is the track. Too tough to tame.
Still got to get down one more time, and that's not a given.
Yeah, her brakeman is an awesome track and field athlete, Montel Douglas. Look at the length of her arms.
In the background, you can see.
Look at these lines. Has anybody had better lines than this? But sometimes those smooth lines aren't the fastest. But I don't know, that time there, you know, her start time was her negligent.
12th in Whistler last year. She lies in 6th position right now. But here is the hunter. Nadezhda Sergeeva of Russia took the European Championship gold medal in Sigulda last Sunday. With Elena Mamedova behind her. She's only 700ths behind Mica McNeill of Great Britain after the first day's action.
73, 74 start. Helped themselves out with a 71. 72, their best start of the 3.
So they were 700ths behind. They've now pulled out a 10 hundredths of a second lead.
That's not going to help there, though.
Ping, ping, into 3.
Now watch the exit here. She can't tap this right-hand wall.
She does. Okay, she's going to need big speed at the bottom because she's had more hits than Elvis already. Sergeeva is not clear from attack from behind from Katrin Beierl of Austria either.
7th best speed, not a good sign for the Russian sled that won. She won her first ever event last weekend in Sigulda. She's late there. Watch out here. Watch out. She got away with it, but she's not good. Now she's not going to get away with bad time. Skidding like that. What'd you say about Elvis?
This is a horror story for Nadezhda Sergeeva.
6th best time of the run. She loses back. Now she'll be under attack for losing a spot at least.
That is actually, despite what it looked like, her fastest trip, 56.77. Yesterday she did 56.80 and 57.09.
But the field in front of her are doing 30 or 40 hundredths better than her heat. You know, so that was not how to do it. And, you know, on moving day, you know, well,
that was 31 hundredths better than her second run, but
real high here. Now watch the sled come and almost just. That's not the way you want to be looking at that next curve. And then that causes this skid into 13. And this can be such a dangerous 13 into 14. This is 14 here, the exit of 14. Her mistake was way up in the exit of 12. 200 meters later, she's still skidding.
Well, you don't want to be drifting your sled here and driving by looking out the side window. Next up, Katrin Beierl with Jennifer Onosanya behind the Austro-Dutch duo. 1.24 seconds off the lead and 22 hundredths behind Mica McNeill. Now, can they overhaul Nadezhda Sergeeva and move up a spot here? I think after Sergeeva's run, this is a great opportunity for Katrin Beierl.
Yep. She got 4th last year at the World Championships in Whistler. Had a great breakout season. Great driver.
Consistency is going to be her key here.
Because she gives up, you know, her start wasn't that bad, 73.
Same as the Russians, same as Christina de Bruin. Only a few hundreds faster than Kalicki.
Still maintaining her 8th spot. That should improve because the Russian sled had all sorts of problems, but this isn't very good either. down.
Just about gets it together.
Up one more time, and now dive out. There, a little rough.
Very rough.
This is not a very good run.
She's not got a handle on this ice, doesn't back it in there the way the Russian sled did. And she's still in 8th place on the splits. This actually looks more untidy than Sergeeva's run. Opportunity lost
for Katrin Beierl.
Yeah, 56.96. That's a further 22 hundredths behind the Russian.
Her fastest time of the day of the 3 heats, but only by 4 hundredths. Remember, some of the top sleds were going 30, 40 hundredths better in this run. So
she shakes her head. She knows there was an opportunity there, but it all got away from her. Not just once, not a couple of times.
So the last 3 sleds have not taken advantage of an opportunity to move up. It's like chalk now. Everybody's just staying in the same position. But well,
that's often the case in this 3rd heat, because the leader starts first with the best ice and a time advantage, and everybody else gets slightly slower ice, and they have a time deficit.
But nobody's coming down with perfect runs.
No, that's true.
I mean, this is...
Last 2 runs have been really untidy.
None of this video we would use on how to do it. I mean, this is, you know, and this is a good driver.
Front, hits back, skid.
She knows, look, and she's a good driver. She's a really good driver.
You don't actually accidentally get 4th in Whistler. Martina Fontanive of Switzerland is next up, with Nadia Pasternak behind her. 10th and 8th fastest starts. She was in 9th place overnight. Only 12th fastest in the 1st heat, but 6th fastest second run to move up to 9th.
She pulls off a 6th place time. She could jump ahead a couple sleds.
Yeah.
And she did it yesterday.
Oh, Nadia Pasternak looked like she was limping a little bit there. If she was a horse, you'd be calling the vet.
74 to 78. 76, right in the middle of the 2. Not bad, but now she needs to be perfect.
Little skid off 1.
And we've seen her have wonderful runs, Martin, but she just doesn't have them consistently. Here's our first albatross right here. Hard hit.
I think part of Martina's problem is she overthinks everything.
Well, she's Swiss.
Yeah, she doesn't have the ability quite to let it go the way that...
Oh, that wasn't bad. She hung it there and came straight. 7th best speed. Not the worst.
All right, that's a good exit out of the Chrysler. Here we go, picking up speed.
She's picked up 1 spot so far at this pace.
And Katrin Beierl, the target.
And she stays straight here, and that is better than most.
She's going to get Sergeeva as well, isn't she? She could move up another spot here.
Good speed here in the bottom. She could move up.
Up to,
9th to 8th.
All right, so, but 6 hundredths behind Nadezhda Sergeeva in 7th place.
She does that again. Remember, she started in 12th. She moved up to 9th. Now she's up to 8th, and she's within reach of the Russian.
That's 6 tenths better than her 1st heat, 3 tenths better than her 2nd heat.
She did not finish last year's World Championships, crashed in the 3rd run, so she's gone farther than she did last year.
Yep.
On a similar type challenging
Just as
track.
tough, yeah.
Track too tough to tame. Look at that. That's that mistaken 3 to 4, and you put all that pressure on the nose. And here's one of the latest sleds in 9, but this is pretty good. No steering. That's how, you know, don't steer. It's not the person who steers the most that wins. It's the athlete who steers the least.
Well, there's Christoph Langen, who's coaching the Swiss. Yingqing of China next up with Du Jiani, her brakewoman. First on ice in Heat 1.
Top 10.
Listen, Pierre Luders, the head of the driving coaching team, said we're going to start them on skinny runners. They just got to get down 4 heats. Anything else is a bonus.
80 and 83. Here they are, the 83. It's not bad. This is a 3-year-old team. And again, the Chinese team, we're supposed to all go back to China after the Junior World Championships 2 weeks ago, but there's a little problem going on in China, as we all know, and so they stayed for the World Championships. And China is one of the few countries who have not crashed on this track.
And John, this is the 3rd time she's driven in the World Championships as well. So 22-year-old driver in the top 10. That's not going to help. 9th fastest speed, though. Despite the narrow runners, which give you better control, but more friction, she's keeping the speed up.
And she's hanging in there, maintaining her position.
She was not far behind Martina Fontanive, only 12 hundredths behind Katrin Beierl. Big skid. Gets it back under control.
and through and down safely. The China sleds are coming down the track. They're finishing on runners.
Yep.
They're not being disqualified or, you know, I mean, it's impressive. The learning curve they have been on. Well, again, the coaches, Pierre Lueders, he's won on this track. Andre Lange won double gold here in 2008 and every other race that was staged on this track. Just, they're doing everything methodically.
And every race this season, this woman has been right around the top 10. She's had an 8th, a 9th, a couple of 10ths, and a couple of 11th positions. So she's where, this is her merit. This is not a lucky run. This is her on merit.
And they're saying that the only thing they want to breed within the Chinese is more of a competitiveness against each other.
Well, Kaillie Humphries from Kim Kalicki, Mariama Jamanka, that's your top 3 with the first 10 sleds done in Heat 3 of 4. Women's Bobsleigh World Championships, Altenberg in Germany. Heat 3 of 4, Anne van Nieuwenhuis of Belgium with Kelly van Petegem in for Sarah Ertz at the last minute yesterday. And Anne looking to try and move up into the top 10 in the penultimate heat.
95, the best start, but boy, they're 3/10ths down already at the start.
Yeah.
That's a second at the bottom.
It's fortunate that this is a track that Anne likes, and she does like to drive.
Watch her exit here, see if she can get through without tapping. Not bad.
That is one of the best exits of corner 3 that we've seen so far.
And she needs to be perfect. That's the problem with the negligible start time. You need to be perfect every time down, and tough to be perfect on this track.
Oh, skidding into the Kreisel, 7th fastest.
Speed. 7th best speed.
Right, their BTC sled called Spanky, come on, they need some speed here. Lost a bit going into the Kreisel. She's still outside the top 10.
Better than most.
Can she move up here ahead of Ying Qing of China?
She's only 1600ths back.
Yep.
Of that.
57.20. She lost 700ths more to Ying Qing on that run. So Anne van Nieuwenhuis stays in 11th spot for the moment. But she was only 500ths ahead of Wai Ming Ming of China, who is up next. So there is a tough battle to try and make it into the top 10 of this World Championships in the 4th and final heats this afternoon. That was the Belgian for comme ci, comme ça. Yeah.
Very polite.
Well, it looked good here, but then it breaks into a skid. She gets another tap, and now she's coming up to the Kreisel sideways.
Yeah, look at her lines. Very similar to Kaillie Humphries. Now she's taking more of the wave.
Yeah, well that's because she was coming in sideways.
Yeah.
2 BTC sleds, though. Anne's, the white and black sled, was the original prototype.
She just saw the replay herself.
Yeah. Okay, so now Wai Ming Ming with Huang Jiajia behind her, her brake woman.
Father-son team, Fabio and Hans, that are the mechanics.
Let's see if they can move up. Only 500ths behind Van Nieuwenhuis of Belgium.
Again, the coaching staff for China is an all-star cast. Yep. Unbelievable, the experience they brought into the Chinese. I got to stand corrected. I told them, really, the brakeman got thrown up there.
Yeah, big hit.
We saw Andre Lange teach him with a laser a couple days ago. I said that on air. I'd never seen that before. Dennis Marino, the old bobsledder from Canada, said he used to teach with a laser all the time. So
didn't
I stand corrected. I never saw it. Thank you, Dennis. Hope you're well out there.
Look at the speed. 6th fastest speed from Wai Ming Ming. Narrow runners or not, she's
look at these lines.
Motoring.
These are great lines.
How close will she get to Anne van Nieuwenhuis? She was only 500.
She was great till there.
A big hit. Oh, and that will have rattled her feelings.
That hurt.
We're going to see that again. The driver really got thrown around.
She got ahead of Anne by 500ths.
Yeah. So she was 500ths back. She's now 500ths in front. But boy, that will have rung her bell.
She lost another 10 hundredths in there. She could have gone ahead of her teammate Ying.
Yep. Well, there's the battle.
She's only 11 hundredths back of her, and that bang she had.
That is the battle in the final heat. The two Chinese.
Remember I told you the head, watch the brakeman pop up here.
Boom.
Bang, or the head, that's the driver. That's how hard they hit there, look at that. She looks like she's too far up in the sled anyway.
And here, when we see that final hit down in 14-15, it's going to look like she's been punched by a heavyweight.
This is 14-15, watch this. Watch how hard she hits here.
Again, watch the... Bam!
Boy, her head's really, they need to sit her down on a different angle in that sled.
Well, she is tall. She's 5'10", you know, she's not going to fit in easy.
And she's a really good starter.
Yeah. Next up, Russia's Lubov-Chernik, second starter out of the shed at the beginning of the first heat, but she was 13th place overnight, and she's over 4/10 behind Wai Mingming of China. She's a little bit of no man's land for Lubov-Chernik. This is not a race weekend that's gone well for her and her brakewoman Anna Parfenova. 5:85, and that's all part of the problem.
Yeah, you got to start, even on this track that has so many challenges for the drivers down below. You still got to have that start.
They got a couple of good quick starters. Yulia Belemesnik would be one. I'm not quite sure why they've gone with the younger brakewomen. They don't seem to be producing the speed.
Kaillie Humphries got the best start. She's in the lead. In the men's competition, Francisco Friedrich's got the tied for the best start, and he's got the lead. So the start has a lot to do with the success in this sport.
Well, the sport's like the horsepower of your car. The more horsepower you have, it's harder to drive, but it's faster.
But they sort of monitor that horsepower in car racing.
Yeah.
They don't monitor it here. If you're the fastest at the top, you'll be rewarded.
57.37 down time. That's halfway between her runs of yesterday at 22 and 50. So I think Lubov-Chernik has got more than she's showing here. Yulia Shoksheva has been on the sled a lot of times this year in the Russian team. She's not racing here either in the Worlds. They've obviously had their own tests and push-offs, but they're losing out so much at the start.
That's not bad, but that is. I don't know why she would got in that drift. She looks like she had the runners going straight. Here, too much of 11, comes over to 12, and then you see the head movements in there that it's so easy to sit here and critique this. Look at that was pretty good at 14.
Yeah, it's getting into 14 again.
Peter Hell smiling behind him, a long-time West German bobsledder way back in the day. He's the head of the Europa Cup, the training grounds for most of these athletes. All been through that training grounds, including this athlete here.
Brianna Walker of Australia with Stephanie Preiske behind her, the New South Wales firefighter. Alfie Willemsen behind, coaching her. Sandra Kroll, the German bobsled driver as well, a World Cup driver.
Problem getting in there.
Yeah,
580.
Slipped.
They still have their best start of the 3 heats for Brianna. Father's here, brother here.
Had a crash in training, but she knows this track pretty well.
And she's been putting her time in on the Europa Cup.
And I was being told that she is one of the fastest driving starters there is. She races in monobob as well. She outpushes the Canadian brakewomen who are learning monobob by a 10th at the start.
So I'll probably see her in Lake Placid for April. Watch out here.
Well, it depends on the funding, I guess, but...
April 3rd is a big monobob race in Lake Placid to finish the season, women's monobob.
The big deal of monobob is it's an Olympic discipline in Beijing.
You're going to see it next year. A lot of it going to be, I think the events will be in conjunction with these World Cup events.
Pretty good looking run for Brianna Walker, top 10 speed. Alfie Willemsen looking happy, 57.56 run, that's her fastest.
Fastest she's probably ever been down this track.
Yeah.
And she's been down the track on her runners all 3 heats.
There you go, one more
to go.
So Brianna Walker, Stephanie Preiske, 3 done, 1 to go in their first World Championships.
Watch the brakeman's right arm on our left side. she needs to come in with a cohesion.
Well, she slipped on her last step. Her left leg got in, her right didn't so much.
Not a, bad 11-12 combination. Pretty good into 13, a little drift, and then she got high in 13, but she didn't get in. Little airborne runner. She didn't get in too late, which causes the problem, but she got late here. And when you're late off 14, this is the result. You come into 15 and skidding, and you don't want to be skidding in this part of any part of the track, but especially there too.
We're getting better, Australia.
There you go. Battling Aussies. Next up, young Melanie Hassler of Switzerland with Yasmin Naif. These girls have started just a couple of World Cup races in their career. First World Championships, only the 2nd year driving for Hassler.
Pretty much like the start they had yesterday. Looks like she drives around curve 2, which Oh, there's too much of that curve. Here. Average.
Still really learning the trade.
Just about getting down the track for this young Swiss athlete.
21 years old. Did the Europa Cup races here in December. She finished in 6th place.
Climb again.
So she knows the track. I don't think it was as quick as this for the Europa Cup sliders, though.
This is all personal best for most of these ladies coming down.
Yeah.
They never, you can't practice for record speed.
Great lines. Great lines from Melanie Hassler.
Really?
And here we go, 15th at the line, 57.68.
She just came down fastest that she's ever been down the track, fastest of these 3 heats. And they were doing 100s in training and 59s. And 2 seconds faster, that'll raise your eyebrows on this track.
Yeah, because you need your heart rate raising at Altenberg anyway.
We got to get the heart rate monitors in these athletes.
Yeah.
To me, the guy with, or the girl with the slowest heart rates are the top of the leaderboards.
Yep.
Oh man, these lines. Climbs up near the roof there. This is 9, then she comes down too early. And she gets up.
Not too much of a drama though, we've seen a lot worse.
But that she got into that skid.
Yeah.
That's worth a lot of time right there, Martin.
Same as Katrin Beierl, same as Nadezhda Sergeeva. Nice low line.
Yeah, 11-12.
Wow.
Next one.
Yeah, one more. So Christoph Langen bringing this team on.
This track, and look what it does. They're smiling when they get to the bottom.
Yeah, got away with it again. Okay, our final sled in this 3rd heat are our Polish rookies, Sylwia Smolarek and Aleksandra Bukowska, her brakewoman, and 21 years old, the driver, 19-year-old brakewoman, her driver's 2nd season.
Besides being the youngest team in the competition, they're the smallest team in the competition.
Yeah.
And they came here 2 weeks ago, international training. They were coached by Harold Shodai, which the Olympic champion from '94, whose son just won the junior world champion, the
Youth Olympics,
yeah.
In boys bobsleigh.
Bobsledding, so.
Yeah, so these young ladies, the brakewoman started bobsledding in November. February, she's in the World Championships. It's great to see a Polish sled at the top level again.
First time we've ever seen a Polish sled. Up, one more time up.
Here we go.
Up.
Nice exit.
Nice.
She's got her head around that, hasn't she? And again, a nice snake as well. 11-12.
One more time, get through here. Yes, safe lines.
13th best speed.
Good, this is great.
Fantastic looking run.
You know, this is a race within a race. It's the, ladies against the mountain, which is what the sport used to be. 58.37. Her first time was 59.25. She's dropped it almost a full second. She went down compared to her first heat.
Second quicker than the first. You can imagine the nerves on the first start.
Listen,
having seen that the track is nearly 2 seconds quicker than the track you trained on. Oh yeah.
Great for them. Impressive that Poland have a team here. Start, they didn't hit it together, but it's not about the start. In fact, they got out of the start grooves right there. Did you see that?
Well, they've done 7 or 8 races together.
Get in.
Luckily, she got in. And do you know what? We've seen that in World Cup from the men's competition.
Here.
It's easily done.
Well positioned. Look at her eyes barely above the cowling. Martin, she did pretty good.
No panic, no fluster. Got it done, got it down.
Personal best.
Yeah.
She's ever fastest she's ever been down the track.
Best.
Congratulations.
Yeah, best
One
ever
more to
Polish women's World Championship performance, because it's the first.
Wow.
So, Kaillie Humphries, her last World Championship gold medal was earned in Samoritz in 2013. She is 1 minute on ice away from potentially a 3rd World Championship title for a 2nd nation, the American Leeds.
Her race, her World Championship to lose right now. She controls her own destiny. An average conservative run down the track and she'll still win it going away.
Kaillie finds it hard to do average and conservative. Kim Kalicki is snapping at her heels. Mariama Jamanka, Christina de Bruin, Stephanie Schneider, they're arguing potentially about the bronze. I'm not sure Schneider's going to get a medal here. The hometown queen, the World Cup champion. 16 sled. sleds started and finished our third of 4 heats. They will be back on ice at 1700 local, 1600 Greenwich Mean Time. Join John Morgan, me, Martin Haven, the BMW IBSF TV crew, and our Women's World Championship field for the fourth, the final, the deciding heat in the 2020 Worlds here in Altenberg.
So, einen großen Applaus für Nadezhda Sergeeva. Wir machen gleich noch eine Minute Spaß bis zum nächsten Mal. Segel zum Abkühlen. Geben wir noch einen riesengroßen Applaus für die Westbuch-Glashütte. Jetzt! Und der Applaus muss jetzt mindestens genauso groß sein für zwei Personen, die von der Bobbahn einfach nicht wegzudenken sind. Das sind die wichtigsten überhaupt schlechthin. Das sind unsere Maskottchen. Bobby und Flocky! So, den noch größeren Applaus, den habt ihr euch eigentlich verdient. Das Publikum, das Beste, was man anfangen für die Weltmeisterschaft. Dankeschön, dass ihr hier sind, dass ihr hier seid und dass ihr mit uns feiern wollt. Und deswegen machen wir das jetzt einfach auch so. Bobby und Flocky, ein kleines Stück auseinander. Wir testen, ob das Publikum einfach mitmacht. Alle mal die Hände hoch. Das kann man so machen, dass wenigstens die kopflösige Achseln laufen. So, jetzt einmal mit den Händen nach vor. Nach hinten. Nach links, jetzt bin ich schon. Nach rechts. So, das letzte Mal mit Musik. So, Entschuldigung, dass wir ein bisschen spät kommen. Ich habe mir noch ganz schnell die aktuellen Rodelergebnisse aus Winterberg anschauen müssen. Gut. Damenrennen, Bronzemedaille Julia Taubitz. Und gleich zu Ende gegangen das Herrenrennen Goldmedaille Johannes Ludwig, Deutschland. Ja, wir haben ja gestern schon ein bisschen angesprochen, da gab es noch ein paar kleinere Eisprobleme auf dieser Bahn. Ja, da gab es Stürze sogar der ganz Großen, also selbst Olympiasieger sind gestürzt, Weltmeister sind da nicht angetreten, etwas definiertes Feld, aber die sind auch, glaube ich, auf eine Starthöhe runtergegangen. Das Rennen wurde gefahren und eben gerade diese Medaillen, aber jetzt kommen wir heute zum richtigen Sport. Gleich werden hier die ersten Medaillen vergeben bei den Damen. Einen Lauf haben wir noch, ja. Ich glaube, das wird eng, heute die deutsche Nationalhymne zu hören. Ich glaube, da wird nachher wieder O Canada gesungen. Aber morgen haben wir natürlich noch ein kleines Fest. Bitte?
Ich schaue auf die USA jetzt, oder?
Entschuldigung, ach Mann, ich krieg's einfach nicht raus, oder? Kaillie ist für mich immer kanadisch. Die startet ja für die USA. Oh Gott, das müssen wir uns heute auch noch anhören. Nicht ganz verstanden. Gut, so. Die Zeit haben wir doch, was machen wir denn? Jetzt ist immer noch ganz im Rodelmodus hier. Oder, Christian?
Welche Zeit haben wir noch?
Was?
Ja, 16:55, erster Spurbock und 17:05 geht es dann los mit dem vierten Rennen. Vierten Lauf.
Mach Lust, weil der heute noch ein Lied singt. Das ist ja ganz schön hin, oder? Dann rette. Warst du schon mal in der Gewichtheberhalle?
Hast du schon mal mit den Handeln gespielt?
Kennst du den Geruch von Eisen und von Schweiß?
Und die Bierfürste ohne Preis, kein Preis.
Kenne ich nicht, den kenne ich nicht. Gut, Marc, das kann man googeln, oder?
Das ist bei YouTube.
Das ist bei YouTube drin, das müssen Sie sich mal angucken.
Über 2 Klicks.
Über 2 Klicks, genau. Vor den Olympischen Spielen 96, oder?
Yep.
Also vor Atlanta, wo der kleine Herr die Silbermedaille geholt hat. Ne? Da haben wir vorher uns noch den Spaß gemacht. Marc und die dicken Kinder aus Leimen nannten wir die Band, die Gewichtheber Nationalmannschaft. Ich kann sie wirklich, schauen Sie sich an auf YouTube, ist wirklich einer der schlechtesten Songs, die wir je produziert haben, oder Marc?
Aber soll es auch eine Reihe geben, oder? Aber deswegen ist es ja Kult.
Ja, das ist cool, auf jeden Fall.
Dafür gibt es die Erdbeeren.
Das ist schlecht, oder? Aber du hast ja noch so was anderes gemacht, oder? Also Lisa war es hier. Wir können lieben jeden Tag.
Tausendmal
Ja. Enso-Kanal.
Aber du hast nicht ganz ehrlich, da hast du gesagt, wir waren alle Plattenmillionäre. Wir hatten noch Millionen Platten im Keller.
Ja.
Die haben wir verkauft.
Ja, im Gewichtheben konnte man Millionär werden, wenn man vorher Multimillionär war.
Genau. Also eine Merchandising-Channel halt.
Wahrscheinlich. Oder? Marc, wie viele Platten hast du noch bei dir zu Hause im Regal?
Ich habe noch eine von Bürger, das gibt's nicht, und eine von, warte mal, was war denn das andere noch? Modern Talking.
Modern Talking? Hat das gerade wirklich gesagt? Ja, das böse N-Wort gesagt.
Ja, ich brauchte eine Platte zum Scratchen üben.
Junge, hart hier meine Schuss. Bitte nicht spielen jetzt. So, sind Sie alle bereit für die erste Medaillenentscheidung? Wenn wir dann gleich hier nicht die kanadische Hymne hören. Ich muss mir das merken, ne? Das ist gerade wichtig. Wobei es eine schöne Hymne ist, die kanadische. Ja. Oh, Canada. Wir hören höchstwahrscheinlich auch morgen schon.
Also, wenn ich sagen brauchst, Gott sei Dank nichts bei dir.
Oh, das ist ja. Komm, so schlecht ist das nicht. Meine Mutter war Musiklehrerin. Echt? Hat trotzdem nichts im Netz. Sie hat Akkordeon gespielt.
Nur Musiklehrerin?
Ja, das gleiche Instrument gespielt wie Florian Silberein. Das ist mir so peinlich.
Deswegen legst du auf die roten Schlüpfer, damit du jetzt in der Familie als breiter
Richtig. So, komm, mach Musik.
Nee, wir machen jetzt mal, weil wir gerade beim Singen waren, ist ja gar nicht so schlecht. Komm, wir teilen das Publikum mal hier in der Mitte. Wir nehmen am besten mal, naja, hier, so diese Stelle. Einmal hier hoch. Rückt mal ein kleines Stück auseinander. Kleine Stelle. Sehr schön. Und ein kleines Stück.
Ganz kurz hier, ganz kurz. Hans, zieht's wieder ein bisschen an mit der Temperatur. Geht nochmal was? Rechts vor, richtig.
So. Das ist jetzt schwingbar, oder? Hat das Handy angemacht und über Mikrofon geholfen. Der muss doch nicht so blöd, oder? Das haben wir alles. Das ist besser als euer Gesinge. Vor allen Dingen, ich möchte mir jetzt nicht vorstellen, wie der jetzt gerade in Unterwäsche unten in seiner Kabine sitzt und Modern Talking sagt. Lange Unterwäsche. Lange Unterwäsche. Gut, gibst du was zurück?
Überbrücke mal ein paar Sekunden.
Ich soll jetzt überbrücken, meine Damen und Herren. Ist einfach mal so, ob Sie begeistert werden. Also, ich möchte wissen, wer jetzt gerade gestorben ist. Darf niemand